Men do not. God is made like that. Well, I'm happy about that. I'm not complaining.
Let me just make a suggestion to you that it would be very difficult if we got pregnant because of the two places where we could put them out. Both would be extremely painful.
Yeah. Hello viewers, welcome to our program on Immigration and You. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again I have with me my partner Mr. David Nachman. David, welcome.
Thank you, Michael. Always a pleasure to be with you, of course.
Well, it's our pleasure, and all our viewers really like your presentation as well. So with that note, I think there's some announcement you want to make. And
well, I have two announcements that I'd like to make. But the first one, which I think you'll be very happy to hear, which I haven't discussed this with you yet.
Okay.
But the other day, I was actually having lunch in New York City. I was having lunch with some friends, and it was an Indian guy who had immigrated to the United States who told me that he has been watching you on television, on ITV, for as long as you've been doing the program. And he was so thrilled to see you on TV. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, when he saw me, because he knew me, he was like shocked. And he said, "Oh my gosh, I've been watching Michael for many years. And then when I saw you and Michael giving us all this great information, he was so happy." Well, so I just wanted to let you know
that. Thanks to that individual who said that. And for your information, and the viewers also, the long-time viewers already know it, but the youngster and some people that have been watching for the recent years, 1976 is when ITV started, and from the very first year, I started doing an immigration program on this channel. And again, I thank all of you very, 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 very much for all these years, patiently watching our program, and we have been trying more and more to even now bring the latest information on the immigration to you, and please keep watching us as long as we can do it here.
Well, he continued to help me understand just how incredibly important the information is that we're bringing to the viewing audience and to the community. So that was really helpful to me to understand how critical it is to bring cutting-edge information to the viewing audience on a weekly basis.
With that also, I welcome viewers who are watching our programs to feel free to email to us if you have any suggestions, comments, any questions. You can contact us, and we'll be more than happy to respond to you. Also, will encourage us to bring more of the programs that you are interested to watch in. And we thank also Dr. Vishwanath and our director, Mr. Prakash Banad, and Mr. Shobhyad, and all the people
so helpful to
very,
us.
very helpful team. And it has been a wonderful time that we have walked through for so many years together with many of these people.
Absolutely, and I think it's also a good idea for us to remind our viewing audience that if they had to go step away from the TV just for a moment, please feel free to visit us on our YouTube channel, where you can get also the same information. You can hear the program again on YouTube, on ITV, on the channel. So you can always hear the information
again. The other announcement.
The important announcement also, which you alluded to, is that the NPZ Law Group, Michael, myself, Lutka, our law partner, we are sponsoring this year for the Teaneck International Film Festival in Teaneck, New Jersey. Every year they run an international film festival, and we are sponsoring a movie which is called Kushiyan. It's an excellent movie. It's a movie about an Indian person who immigrated to the United States and then goes back to India to visit their parents, and all the things that happen in that movie. It's an excellent film. Related to immigration. It's almost like a reverse immigration film. And Michael, myself, and Mr. Tirak Malik, is the director of the film, will be having a panel presentation after the film to discuss issues such as immigration-related issues, and also director feelings about the film. And so that'll be afterwards. Now that is going to be the second week in November, so reserve the second week in November. It's going to be in Ridgefield Park at the AMC Theater, and we'll give you some more details on that in one of our next programs.
Kushiyan is a very emotional, interesting movie, and takes you back many, many years, my life also, while I was watching the movie. and most of it is in Punjabi language. And as David said, Mr. Trilok Malik, to whom you know, most of you know, who is the director of this movie, and he other productions he has done, will be there present at the time of festival and will explain about how the movie was made and any other questions people may have.
And also, we should let our viewing audience know that we're also toying with the possibility of having some other Bollywood specialties at that event. So we will give you more details, but it is at the AMC Theater in Ridgefield Park. It's part of the Teaneck International Film Festival. If you're interested in the festival itself, please sign on to Teaneck International Film Festival. I think if you Google it, you'll get to the email, the site, the website.
It's a Teaneck Film Festival.
Right, and it'll give you the date, the exact date, the time, the place, all the information you need about Kushiyan.
Okay, time to talk about the cutoff dates.
Let's get down to business.
Business.
Right.
Okay, for the month of September 2012, the cutoff dates are as following. In the family preference category, the first preference, which is for the unmarried sons and daughters over the age of 21 of US citizens, good news, advances by 8 weeks to October 1st, 2005. The family 2A category, which is for the spouses, that's the husband, wife, and children under the age of 21 of green card holders, advances by 7 weeks to May 8, 2010. The family 2B category, which is for the sons and daughters of green card holders, children over the age of, it's not the spouse, only the sons and daughters over the age of 21 years, advances very nicely, 11 weeks to September 15, 2004. And the family third preference, which are the married sons and daughters of US citizens, advances by 2 weeks to May 15, 2002. And the brothers and sisters category, the family fourth preference, also advances by 3 weeks for all the countries, including India, to March 8, 2001. Now, on the employment preference categories, the first preference, priority workers, is current for all the countries. The employment second preference, which is the advanced degree holders for most of the countries except India, there is no movement and the date remains the same, January 1, 2009. But for India, it continues to remain unavailable.
Until October.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is what David is saying, that the fiscal year for the visas start from 1st of October to the end of September. So this month's bulletin probably is the last month for this year. And October, the new quota comes in, so that in that second preference employment probably will reopen, come back. I don't know what date, maybe 2007, maybe 2008, something like that.
We hope and pray.
Hoping.
Yeah.
And the employment third preference category, which are the skilled workers and like a bachelor degree holders, 1 week to October 8, 2002 for India. But for the other countries, advances 3 weeks to October 1, 2006. The EW other workers category also advances by 1 week, the same dates, all other countries, October 1, 2006, and India's October 8, 2002. The fourth preference category, which is the special immigrants, which includes the priests and religious workers and all that, remains current for all the countries. And the employment fifth preference, which are the investors of $1 million or $500,000, remains current for all the countries. Now, comments. As we said that this is the last month of the year, and people have some concerns, especially on the employment second preference category, you know. That many of the people who also applied in August 2007, they got the employment authorization, permission to travel, and the numbers went back, and they've been waiting many, many years. So that is the most important category that look forward into the October bulletin. But even otherwise, it's a good news, I would say. It's 8 weeks, 7 weeks, 11 weeks.
Family-based
Family-based is good.
It's advancing.
Yeah. The two other points I want to make on cutoff date. This is a rule of cross chargeability. We have said in the past, we want to repeat again. Rule of cross chargeability is that, let us say, especially in the employment, because in the family preference categories, they are the same for other countries in India, mostly. But in the employment category, big difference. Look at second preference unavailable, and other countries is January 1, 2009. So let us say an Indian who is in a EB2 category waiting for more, but he forgot to mention to us that his wife was born in maybe Pakistan or Bangladesh or Nepal or any country. then what this person who's born in India can do, take the place of the wife's country of birth and then go back into that category. Even if he was born in India, he doesn't have to stay in the line many more years. Then we can move very faster. So he may have a priority date of 2007 or 8 or even 9. He can move immediately to getting a green card. So that's one thing to remember. Also, there is we talked about that, David and me, in the past, the pending bill in the Congress, where what they want to do is to remove the per country limit. I mean, in this scheme of things, all the visa numbers are allocated for each category a particular number. And because of this problem of per country limit, in addition to the limits, quotas, is creating problems for countries like India, China, Mexico, Philippines probably. Because that country is already, that limit has reached, so they can't move the same way as other countries do. So what will happen, just guess, if that law is passed and per country quota is gone? How do you look at India?
Well, what they're talking about is the possibility of those cases advancing, obviously, and becoming current. So those individuals who have cases that are presently held in abeyance, they'll have an opportunity to get their green cards, and other individuals will be able to file.
My question is, how far you think that may move up, catch up with 2007, 8, something like that?
It's a possibility. It's really anyone's guess.
Difficult to predict.
But not only that, it's also difficult to predict as to whether or not that law is going to go through, because politically right now, the immigration law in general is a political football, and it's very difficult for anything to be done in an election year. So when does it happen?
I agree with
Who
you.
knows?
But I think the opposition here is less, because there's no increase in the quota. The total number remains the same. Only they are going to bring this on par with the other country. In other words, look, there's a country called Togo in Africa. There is tiny, very, 5,000-10,000 people are our population. And country like India, 1 billion or more people. Come on, but is that a logic there to have a same kind of quota for both countries? I think maybe in 1956, whenever they passed the immigration law, they weren't thinking of that.
Yeah, I think you're right. And also I think our viewers should know that one of the issues with regard to this new law is also the possibility that they may be taking away from the diversity lottery program the visas and using those to offset. Now, if they do that, that's interesting, because obviously the people who can benefit from the diversity lottery program are going to be very upset.
But a lot of congressmen are of the view that lottery is really not the right thing to do when there are people who are qualified engineers and technical, like people who are coming to this country to help the country, like anything,
right.
To have them waiting in lines, and then the lottery people win a lottery, they have hardly little education, maybe high school, maybe little experience, and they can come into the country, and then people are complaining about the jobs. So when these people are coming, maybe most of them will be taking up the jobs that American workers do. So there are economic angle, employment angle, many angles, and Congress people always want to talk from both point of view of these facts, as well as politically what's going to help them. I mean, there are employers who put a pressure on the congressmen, senators to give more quotas, even more visas, and make it easy for the PhD people, the master's degree people, and all that. So there's that kind of atmosphere is going on.
Right.
And then some also think that this lottery program is the bad to start with. Although we going back 40 years of my practice, there was a lot of political thing, how it came. In Ireland, when Senator Kennedy was there, President Kennedy was there, although Senator Kennedy was there, they found that the people from Ireland, unemployed youth, were difficult to come because most of the chain was gone. The chain was started in other countries, brother calling brother, sister calling sister, husband calling wife. So they said, how do we bring new seed immigrants? That was the philosophy. But I think behind that was some pressure from lobbies from those countries like Ireland, and that, the Irish, President Kennedy and other people.
Right.
So there were some reasons at that time, the changes in the politics, changes in the dynamics, changes in the technology, things change. And as you know that, you can agree with me, immigration laws have been changing all the time, keeps changing, and this has been there for many years. And it may not be a bad idea. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm also in favor of, maybe they keep both lottery and that also increase. And the best thing to do, everybody's happy. So I don't want to say anything that our lottery applicant may say, oh, Mr. Farman is promoting or not promoting. We're just providing you the information.
Exactly.
As to what they are thinking
what
or what
are the
may
issues,
happen.
What the issues might be at
what
this
the issues
time.
might be.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think a very hot subject of dreamers and dream applicants. Today's time is gone. We need to bring this program to the conclusion today. In our next program, we're going to give you detailed information from dreamers, those students that who came under the age of 16 and now are eligible to apply. We will give you in very details. So don't